Shalom. Allah start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash, double honors to the apostles, Ezra, great Mr. Citations to the select this person's truth across folks of the earth, all faith, truth, and sincerity. All right, this I'm gonna want to buy back and give him a sitting. This one going to about this so-called white man Esau and my devil that's in rulership. You know how the earth right now and everything what's going on. How they running things, how they control things and got everything like it is right now, because they are the wicked. They are the cancer of the earth. Excuse me, the cancer of the earth. Is they just harmful to the earth, to the people. They bullies. They're the bully. Messing with other countries' resources. Taking people's oil. The Venezuela situation. Taking oil tankers and just that's what they do. That's what the Edomites, so-called white people, Edomites do, man. They violent, they take, they rob, they cheat, they steal. They that's what they do, man. They don't even play by their own rules. They break their own rules, man. How can you put your trust in a group of people, a nation of people, the so-called white people, Esau, Edomite devils, red devils, Edomites? How can you put your trust in a nation of people that don't even abide by their own rules, don't even hold up, don't even keep their word, don't hold up their end of the deal, whatever it may be, they always, cutting corners, or they, like I say, they breaking rules, they don't hold nothing, sacred. They don't hold nothing, they don't, what I'm saying, they just wicked, they just the wicked. They don't, they just, a group of people, a nation of people that don't need to be trusted, But you have so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Israelites. Our people still putting their trust in these devils. Want to, be, tied with them, or be, friends and buddy. But in the end, they're gonna backstab you. They're gonna do you dirty. And like I said, it's like our people, so-called Negro, Latino, they still just don't get it. Like, wake up, man. This so-called white man, Esau, my devil, is the wicked, man. It's the devil. This the deceiver, man. These my devils, they smile in your face, man. And then, it backstab you later. Definitely backstab you if you come at them wrong. You come at them at a wrong, you try to take their spot where it may be. I say you got these celebrities and so forth, actresses, music people of our people, music artists, actors and so forth, sports, sports elite athletes, they make the deal with these devils. Then if they don't like what they doing, or they don't like how they being treated or misused or what it may be, or they're not getting their money like they're supposed to, and they getting they getting stuff taken away from them. Now they want to goddamn start speaking out and this and that. But when they do that, what happens? They get blackballed, and then they still keep talking, and they wind up mysteriously dying from some illness or some type of tragedy out of nowhere, right? But like I said, that's what it is. You made a deal with the Edomite devils, so-called white people, Edomite devils. That was gonna happen. They gonna backstab you, man. You come at them talking crazy, you made that deal. They'll come at you. And like I say, our people gotta know who you. That's your enemy. The so-called white man, East Edomite, is your enemy, man. You so-called Negro, Latino, Native, which are Israelites, the so-called white man, Esau, Edomite, devil, red devil, is your enemy, man. Wake up. Stop putting y'all trust in this devil, man. It never ends well. It is not going to end well. Those that still, trust in this devil up to the, once things, start really get way worse and worse, it's going to be too late. Like, once the Lord Yahushua returns, and remove this devil out the power seat, the Lord Yahushua, who y'all call Jesus. Once the Lord Yahushua returns, that's the real name of the Lord is Yahushua. It's not Jesus, not Yeshua, not Yeshua, whatever y'all, whatever name else y'all throwing out there. It's Yahushua. But when the Lord Yahushua returns and take this devil down in the chariot, so-called UFO with the angels, it'll be too late, man, because y'all chose the side that y'all want to choose. Y'all chose the side that want to be with the wicked, Y'all didn't want to choose the side of, being the Lord, being on the side of Lord Yahushua, because Jesus that's not his name. He ain't gonna respond to that. He ain't gonna acknowledge that. The apostles and the Ellsberger Stone for years been teaching you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Israelites. They all the chosen people of the Lord. And y'all should, repent, get out the mind frame, get out the ways of this world, the mind frame, and stop trusting it in the system. Stop putting your trust in the system. To get away from so-called white man, Esau, my devil. Stop trusting in it, and trusting Lord Yahushua. Come back to the ways of Lord Yahushua and apply it, in your life and apply it and watch, how things happen, but a lot of people don't want to come back to the ways of Lord Yahushua. They want to come back to the understanding who they are, their language and their culture, their heritage, understanding who they are and so forth. Understand that the history that was taught in our schools and so forth in these schools is bullshit. Who we are. The apostles and the Ellsberger Stone teaching you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Israelites who you are and so forth, man. But y'all don't want to listen. It just is what it. 2/3 of Israelites are gone, man. They gone, man. They gonna keep trusting the so-called white man, Esau, like those, man. But in the end, it's just gonna, it's not gonna end well, It's gonna end in a very tragic, ending. But I'm gonna start with Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So the earth is given the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, man. Like I said, the wicked who is the wicked? The so-called white man, Esau, my devils, the ones in power right now, the ones in rulership, the ones that got, especially you so-called Negro, Latino natives for the most part in the chokehold, but it's got people, got the people in the depressive mindset, getting wore down. You gotta, you gotta work 2-3 jobs. You gotta do this and do that just to make ends meet. The economy sucks. Everything is outrageously high and expensive, and you're struggling. And you got people out here, selling themselves out for some money, or doing, wicked acts that the Lord Yahushua hates to make money that usually you won't do, but you're doing it because how things is right now, because of the so-called white man, Esau, my devils got everything like it is right now. They the wicked, man. You gotta pay for water bill, light bill. How it's ridiculous, man. What you gotta pay for just to live. Like, you ain't living. You just surviving. You ain't living. You just it's like the song, if I'm not mistaken, by Marvin Gaye, man. This ain't living, man. We in fucking hell. So-called Negro, Latino, Native American Israelites, we in hell, man. But you Israelites, you Negro, Latino, Natives, y'all, it's like y'all okay with it, and y'all just want to keep going along with it, knowing it's not gonna get no better. And the apostles and the Ellsberger Stone been saying that for years. That the Lord Yahushua gonna bring this place down. The Lord Yahushua gonna bring this place down, and you seeing it. He gonna bring great judgment down on this place, but y'all still not seeing it. You Israelites, you Negro, Latino natives, not seeing it, man. Only the elect Cause 2/3 don't care, man. As long as they gonna do what they gotta do for their money, man. And I'm not saying nothing wrong with making money, cause you gotta try to do what you gotta do. But as far as like you selling out just to make a whole bunch of money, whatever it may be, or try to press people or whatever it may be to try to keep your your name going, try to keep what is your fame or whatever it may be, try to keep yourself noticeable to people that don't really give a shit about you, man. So but I said, man, like I said, this devil Edomite, man, got everything upside down. Everything upside down, man. Matter of fact, let me get that. Might be close if I gotta find it. Yeah, that is. In fact, that might be. Let's see what else I don't look for. That might be the one. Let's see. It's like, yeah, forgive me. This might be Isaiah. Let's say something about. I started Isaiah 29:15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord Yahweh, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? So woe means destruction. So destruction unto them that seek. So destruction to the Edomites. And like I say, these elites. The ones that you don't see. The ones you don't really know about, the elites, the Rockefellers, the the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, and so forth, man. The Bilderbergs, the so forth, man. Those that you don't know, that you don't see on TV, or like they keep themselves secretive. And they be in these meetings. They be having these meetings. These world meetings, or whatever it may be. And they be having these underground secret meetings too, or secret that you don't know about. And they be coming up with plans and stuff, how to keep the so-called Negro Latinos down, or whatever it may be. They try to destroy us. They try to kill us off still to this day. Because these so-called white people, these Edomite devils don't like you. These so-called white people, red people, Edomites don't like you so-called Negro, Latino, natives, man. They hate y'all, man. They want to see us wiped away. They want to see us done with, man. But the Lord Shai, he died for the nation of Israel, or the Israelites. Which are the so-called Negro, Latino, natives. But in these times, the Lord Yahweh is gonna have mercy on the elect, or the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, like the 144,000 and 1/3. Like I said, the men of the Lord, the Apostle Elsenberger, and Mr. Stone, the men of the Lord that had the truth. So, hey, these devils think they think that the Lord don't see them. Who see of us? Who know that what we doing? What we trying to plan? It's the Lord, the Most High, Yahweh see you, man. Y'all can't hide what y'all trying to do. Y'all can try to do an underground meeting under the ground, whatever it may be. The Most High sees you. He know what you doing. You can't hide from the Most High. You can't hide from the Lord Yahweh Shai. He knows what you're doing. you Edomite devil, so-called white people, man. He know what y'all doing in these meetings, what y'all talking about, what y'all trying to plan. Y'all not gonna do what y'all plans is not gonna fully prevail. It's not gonna fully gonna work like you want to. Cause let's say Lord Yahushua is gonna intervene and interrupt that shit. Excuse my language. No, but that's what's gonna come about. But go to the next verse. Isaiah 29:16. Surely your turning of things upside shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not, or shall the thing framed it say of him that framed it, he had no understanding. You know. So like I said, man, he's like I was saying on the so-called white man Esau to my doubles, and they got everything turned upside down, man. Everything is, out of order, man. The wicked in power, everything's out of order, man. The righteous, if the righteous was in power, things will be in order. Which I don't get that scripture. But things will be in order if the righteous people of the Lord was in power, which are the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Israelites, starting with the elect, of the nation of Israelites, because 2/3 of Israel, or the Israelites are just, they into this mindset frame in this world, they sticking with it and they ain't letting it go. Only the elect is gonna be with the Lord Yahushua and stay faithful to the Lord Yahushua to the end. Hopefully, I'm probably righteous enough to escape the wrath and judgment of the Lord Yahushua and be delivered and have mercy by the Lord Yahushua in these times going forward. But that's what it is, But and like I say, man, like I said, the Most High, say Yahweh, Most High, he created, your Lord Yahushua. He could create, they create, they create, they made such as, they made me and so forth, and the people, and you got like the Most High Yahushua don't know what you doing. I like y'all. And I say Edomite devils thing, they try to be like the so-called white people, red people, the ones in power, the Edomites. They're trying to be like the Most High. They don't think that the Most High, don't know what he, think that the Most High just, don't know what he doing, or what, don't have no understanding, or like I say, like he, don't know how to, do what he supposed to do, or whatever it may be. They think in their mind, they think that they could do it better. That's what they think. Oh, I could do it better than the Most High. We could do the, that's their mind frame. They prideful, man. So-called white people, Edomite devils are powerful, man. They're powerful, wicked devil Edomites, man. They wicked. And I say the Lord Yahushua gonna deal with the Edomites, man, for all what they did, in the past and in the present and the future. They're gonna get what their future. Their future is, they're gonna go into hardcore slavery. Once Lord Yahushua returns, and I say take the Edomite devils out of the power seat. But I just want to get that. But so I'm gonna go from there to I'll go to Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. So the righteous, who are the righteous? The so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Israelites that's in power. We are the righteous. You know what I'm saying? But we just not we're in our lowest state. Until Lord Yahushua returns. With the angels, what I'm saying? Beam of his elect. Hopefully they'll probably rush the number. But beam of his elect to be, changed and to have rulership and dominion over everything, to rule in righteousness. In his ways and wisdom, not to understand of his ways and word, and judgments, how it's supposed to be in the book, the words of, Lord Yahushua, how things supposed to be, the judgments of the book, how things supposed to be, how things supposed to be set up and ran, and how things, supposed to be, by his word, but it's not, because who's in power? The wicked, which is the so-called white people, Esau might double. So the wicked are in war. The people are mourning. People are mourning, man. The people are, they tired. They tired of the bullshit that the Edomite devils, what they do. Constantly going to war for, just what else? Just for a reason to go to war, to take their resources. They go to other countries so they can take their resources, man. They conjure up, a plan, a lie, or what it may be to try to get into these other countries and take their resources, man. You know, because they don't have nothing for themselves to benefit them, you know, or benefit anybody else around them, you know, because they ain't nothing but leeches, man. You know, they are leeches, man. They're leeches to the earth, man. They blood sucking leeches. And like I saying, and people are tired, man, draining people of their energy, man, of this wickedness, man, and of this oppression. They're oppressing, man, especially oppressing to the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Israelites to this day, you know. And they're gonna continue until, like I said, you know, Loyal Shah gonna return, man. You know, eventually make his return, because these devils, you know, they gonna, you know, they know their time is short. Their time of rulership will come to an end. They know, you know. But like I said, they're gonna try all they might to try to, you know, try to destroy the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Israelites, man. But it's not gonna work. You know, they're gonna try to be like the Most High. You know, once they make that the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, mandatory, and have people, you know, take it, and have you know, half man, half machine type thing, and have, you know, the only way you can function in the society. You know, and that's what it's coming to, man. That's where it's heading. You know, but I say, I said the righteous, you know, when the righteous are thrown, the people rejoice, but they're not rejoicing right now. The people are not rejoicing right now, man. Because of the so-called white man Esau, because of the so-called white man Esau, devil doesn't, excuse me, because of the so-called white people Esau, Edomite devils that's in power right now, man. That's why the people are mourning, man, because the wicked, man, is in power. But go from there to matter of fact, because I ain't gonna make this too long. Go to Ecclesiastes 10:4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time, in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. So the power is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh, you know. So the Most High, you know, Lord Yahweh, Yahweh, you know, he gonna set up one that's profitable. Like I say, Yahweh, he's gonna be, you know, one that's gonna rule and have everything, you know, set up, you know, how it's supposed to be. You know, Lord Yahweh, the King, House of David, King David, King David, the House of David. You know, the 144,000, the elect. You know, they're gonna be the governing body, and on down. You know, just gonna have everything in order how it's supposed to be, and I said the earth is gonna rejoice. The earth is gonna flourish. The earth is gonna look so much better once, like I said, once the Edomite devils are out of power, because these Edomite devils, they just keep banging on the earth, man. And, you know, it's something called the land Sabbath. You know, you're supposed to get the land of earth. You know, a time off. You know, just beating on it. You know, the Edomite devils the so-called white people, red people devils in power. They just beating on the earth. You know, they're constantly building and doing this and bombing and just making a ruckus. You know what I'm saying? Just doing crazy shit, man. And the earth is tired. The animals are like, man, these people, these folks gotta go. They out of control. Cutting down the trees, messing up the living places of birds and animals, and they changing, you know what I'm saying? They change their environment, you know, and they're tired. And the people tired, they tired. You know, like, damn, they fucking our shit up. Excuse my language, you know. Like, you know, and so, you know, like I said, the lawyer shot got returned, man, and get these devils out of the way, man. You know, they just messing up everything. But down near. But we'll go from there. Go to Ecclesiastes 10:8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. So yeah, so because of unrighteous dealings, so I say that even my devil so-called white people that's in power, they unrighteous, they deal unrighteously, man. They don't deal correct. They backstab you, man. I said they'll smile in your face and they say, yeah, we got a deal, whatever it be. But they'll break that deal. They'll backstab you in the back, man. Riches got by deceit. You know what I'm saying? They got the riches by deceit, man. I said they lie, they cheat, they steal, man. They not straight up, man. They're not straight up for shit, man. Like I said, they got that, that devil type mindset, man. They're deceiving us, man. I say they smile in your face and this and that, and then out of nowhere, backstab you. Take what you got, I thought we had a deal. No, we ain't got no deal. It's mine. Everything you got is mine. And like I say, so-called Negro, Latino natives, they had ideas or whatever it may be that probably helped the Edomite company or they had ideas for their businesses, whatever it may be, and the Edomite came along and took it from them, Unless they got jealous, that's what the Edomites do, man. They jealous too, man. They jealous of Israelites, man. Cause we can make something out of nothing, man. Make it look make it real good, and they get jealous of that. You ain't got to pot the piston. You ain't got barely surviving, barely surviving. But find a way to get out the hole, the hell hole, and come out of it and try to make it some type of make some type of adventure, whatever it may be, something to get about the situation and better our lives and, make a living. Then they turn around and they take it or destroy it. That's why you Edomite devils got to go, man. They ain't nothing but hateful, evil, despicable, nasty. I can't even call them people. I don't want to call it, man. It's just, irks me, man. Just sick of it, man. Like what they do, man. Their history is ugly, man. Ain't nothing good about the Esau Edomite devils, man. Their history is nothing but bloodshed, rape, rob, and murder, lies and deception. Still to this day, they doing forcing lies and deception on people. Trying to make themselves look as they are the chosen by the Lord. And they not. Trying to make the so-called Negro like him, they make us look like we just, the problem, or maybe the problem of the earth, which we not. It's just Jake out here, they just lost in sauce. We got Jake out here 230, just, wilding out, but we not the main problem. The main problem is the so-called white man Esau, my devils is in rulership, man. Is out here rape, robbing, murdering, killing, and out of control, man. Thinking what they doing is right, and it ain't. But so like I say, the kingdom gonna be translated from one people to another. The so-called white man Esau and my devils time of rulership is coming to an end, man. And Loyal Shai gonna, put so-called Negro, Latino, Native Israelites back in their rightful, put it in their rightful place. Plus be in rulership right now, but put it in the rightful place to rule and be in rulership forever. Once the Loyal Shai take the Edomite devils out of the power seat, and we're gonna reign forever. Ain't gonna be no so-called the Israelites gonna reign forever. The so-called Negro, Latino natives gonna reign forever. Ain't gonna be no time limit, no time frame, man. But I ain't gonna make this too long, so I'm gonna end off of this. Ecclesiastes 10:10, the physician cut off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die. So yeah. So the physician, who's the physician? The Loyal Shai. He gonna return. The Loyal Shai gonna return and take down the so-called white man Esau Edomite out of power of this long disease. This cancer doesn't these Edomite devils. They are alone. They're alone. The cancer, man. They just a cancer of the earth, man. They not benefit none of the earth to the people. Nothing, man. It's just, like I say, blood. They leeches, man. blood sucking energy, this draining your energy, man. And you stressing, trying to survive, pay your water bill, light bill, and shit, And like I say, this system that's set up to keep Jake down, keep Israelites from even trying to thrive. Credit score, what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck you got a credit score for, That shit that was set up to keep Jake from goddamn thriving, man. They saw the so-called Negro Latino natives, financially they were doing well. And they said, oh no, we gotta set something up to keep them for not to try to goddamn overdo them. They all trying to make up these laws where it may be to keep the so-called Negro Latino natives down, Jake down, man. Or like I say, put like things in the communities of Jake, whether it be liquor stores, drugs, whatever it may be. Keep Jake just, keep bugged out down. Not to have like a high mind and intellect mindset to where, they make things go. Make things, be good around them. Our people just being that rightful mind, but they not right now. Because who's in power, But like I say, 2/3 Israelites, they rebellious. They don't want to listen. Our people, 2/3 Israelites don't want to listen to our people. Don't want to listen to the Apostle Ellsberg and Stone to tell them the truth, who they are, and this and that, and tell them to stop doing what you're doing. But it's the prophecy got to happen, right? The words of Lord Yahweh, it got to come true. It got to happen, right? 2/3 of Israelites in these times are just gonna be what they is, rebellious. They're gonna do what they want to do. They're gonna trust in the so-called white man, Esau, and my devils, and it's not gonna end well for them. They're gonna have their time of having fun or this and that, selling out, whatever, but it's gonna run out. And like I said, the apostles and the Ellsberg Stone, they let the men of the Lord and those that put their trust in Lord Yahweh Shai and didn't sell out, then give in to the ways of the world, and definitely don't take the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. They're going, the Lord Yahweh going to deliver them because they kept the faith unto the end, even unto death. It come down to it. They didn't do no selling out. They stay faithful to Lord Yahweh Shai unto the end. And I say, me myself first and foremost, hopefully my faith is strong and keep my faith stay strong. Keep my faith in Lord Yahweh Shai to the end. Keep believing. Keep pushing the word. Keep pushing the truth. And cause that's what it is. That's what it's gonna boil down to. Either you the elect or not. So. But like I said, Lord Yahweh Shai, He's gonna take down the so-called white man, Esau Edomites out of power. Soon, in the future. It's gonna happen. Their time is running out. They ain't got much time left in this world, man. And they, to rule this, to be ruling this earth and what they doing to the earth and so forth. It's gonna come to an end, and we at that point, it's coming. It's gonna come. They know their time is, running out, and that's what they, they doing what they doing. They pressing and. Scrambling, still trying to push these lies and deceptions and so forth, man, But I didn't want to make this too long. So again, I like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash, to the pastor elders, to the sisters and brothers, to the few Aquaf, sisters that do this and keep the faith in Yahushua, keep fighting. Let's say Shalom.